Incredible. Nice to have you along. It is a Monday. I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal, and we're going to be looking at another above seasonal day. Really, really nice weather, at least until the end of the week, and then that's when things start to change around. Of course, we'll have a look at your full long-range forecast coming up at 53 minutes past the hour, but this morning you'll be at around 5 degrees. It will be partly cloudy, feeling about a degree. Well, I hope you had a great weekend. Doesn't it feel more like September than it does November? Well, that's going to continue, and that's actually one of our headlines today. Yeah, we're looking at a lot of sunshine today, up around 11 degrees. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, but still at least where we should be this time of year, around 8 degrees, and maybe even a little warmer than that. So great news. And then Wednesday, we even get a little warmer, up to about 14. So really quite nice. An easterly wind, though, will be what will be responsible for cooling us off tomorrow. Active weather midweeks, not so much for us like what they're getting in the States. I mean, they're getting, major severe weather type of outbreak for a couple days. But we will get into that same energy. There's a big upper level low that's battling it out with a lot of Gulf of Mexico moisture, and I'll show you what all that means coming up here. So current temperatures. Good morning in Toronto. It's 4 right across the country. -1 in Calgary, -1 in Edmonton, 2, and 0 in Victoria. A little bit cool in the east as well. So what exactly is our norm this time of year? Well, it should be of 7, okay, for November 15th, and same deal for around the 16th. Same type of, average at around 7, 8 degrees, depending exactly where you live. But yeah, we'll be cooling off to seasonal for tomorrow, so not a bad deal. Let's talk about the moisture. We see a lot of moisture moving up through northern Ontario. That's associated with the low back to the southwest, and there's the line of thunderstorms that I'm talking about, and that will start to move in our way by Tuesday. So everybody's asking the question, how long is this warm weather going to be lasting? I mean, here we are mid-November, and it feels more like September. Take a look at our Wednesday temperatures, up to 14 degrees. Now, we will be dealing with some cloud and some rain. This is the same big system that is stateside, bringing all kinds of active weather, including tornadoes. But yeah, very warm. The eastern Ontario will likely get a bit more sunshine as that front moves in than the west. But then Thursday, still hanging on to the warmth, 11 for Toronto, 12 for Newmarket. But it all has to end eventually, right? Well, if we take a look at the air upstream, check out Winnipeg with -2s as a daytime high Thursday. So there we go. Barrie, Friday, 4 degrees. Mixed precipitation. Look at Mount Forest, only 2. That's probably the coldest we've been, I would say, yet this season as far as a daytime high. With the wind chill, and there will be a cold west wind to start things off, and probably a west-northwest wind as we get into the weekend. What that means with those warm lake waters is the potential for some snow squalls Friday into Saturday, so keeping a close eye on that. For the GTA proper, we're looking at about 4 degrees on Saturday for Toronto, 3 for Newmarket, 3 for Guelph, only 1 for Mount Forest. And here's this is our Tuesday, and we do see the storms move in probably tomorrow night into the overnight. Chris St. Clair. By the way, you can get a lot of our features like time-lapse that are on our website. So by all means, go there. There's Science Behind the Weather, top 5 videos around the world in 60 seconds, and many, many more videos. Okay, so developing stories. Happy Monday. I hope your weekend was good. If you're enjoying the September-like weather, well, get used to it. It's going to be nice, just like this today, tomorrow, into Wednesday as well. Except Wednesday, we're tracking a storm system here at Santa Claus. And if you stick around with us, we're going to show him to you. Maybe he was wearing shorts. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, so some of our headlines, it's going to be very warm. Let's go back to that, see if I can. Okay, it's going to be warm, feeling like September. An easterly wind, though, will keep us a little bit cooler tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we're looking at some clouds and a bit of active weather, potential for some weak thunderstorms even here, but there's a much bigger story stateside and up through the Ohio River Valley over the coming days today in the south. 4 degrees for Toronto, currently right now, 5 in Ottawa, Saskatoon sitting at about 2. Here's where the storm starts to approach. It won't be until about Tuesday evening that Windsor will get into some cloud, and this is the big one I'm talking about from the States. Look at the thunderstorms break out along that boundary. For us, it'll be rain. It's another Monday, but I'll tell you, with weather like this, it sure starts your work week off nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm already planning, hey, later on I'm going to go for a nice run because it feels more like mid-September rather than mid-November. I might remind everybody, it was actually Dr. Doug that reminded me, like a week ago, it was that big Buffalo, New York snow squall event this time last year. So we have had little to no snow, and temperatures like this. This was your Sunday right across the GTA, anywhere from about 14, 15 degrees, really quite nice. Lots of sunshine to start things off this morning. We'll be at around 6 degrees, and our winds will be northeasterly. Tomorrow they'll be completely easterly, and what that will do, we'll keep our temperatures a little bit on the cooler side. Right now, it's time to look at some of your photos. Share your weather. We're glad you're with us. Share your weather time. I get kind of excited to think about share your weather come Christmas, all the beautiful Christmas photos that we're going to get in. So thanks for sending your photos all the time. Let's go right to it right now. Some beautiful shots right across the country. If we look at the first one, well, yeah, maybe you don't want to be sliding down that slide in Newfoundland. Gordon Parsons, thanks very much. Nice fresh snowfall. There's another one in Newfoundland from Dolores Collins in Hare Bay. And this is kind of a cool wave shot in Port Bruce, Ontario. Shirley comment. We've had some very powerful winds lately, haven't we? Well, London, as a result, all of your leaves are now on the ground. And finally, Saskatoon, we're getting ready for Christmas. Fascinating stuff indeed. Okay, thanks, Sophia Kambalia. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. It was the Santa Claus Parade, of course, in Toronto and Niagara Falls. And here's the thing. We're going to be releasing our winter forecast November 30th, actually, here at the Weather Network. And then you'll find out how December 1st and through the holiday season looks. You'll be able to find out just how warm or cold we're going to be. It can't be this warm forever, right? Well, Chrissy Van actually had a chance yesterday at the Niagara Santa Claus Parade to catch up with the big guy himself. Thanks, Chrissy. Looks like a lot of fun. The parents are happy too, right? Because it is so warm. Everybody was it was a beautiful day, right? In Niagara Falls on Saturday and in Toronto on Sunday. There's the snow that Santa's talking about. No chance for snow for us yet. Hey, thanks a lot, Rach. I didn't know a lot of that. So learning. And by the way, all of these great features that you see on TV, you can always catch on our website as well. By the way, in about 36 seconds, we're going to have a look at your local forecasts in your own backyard. We are doing the 1-minute locals now, so it's just an extra shot of your personalized backyard weather. Feeling like September, that's all you need to know. It's going to be awesome. An easterly wind will keep us a little bit cooler tomorrow, and we'll have some active weather Wednesday. That means some rainfall. In fact, the rain will start Tuesday into the evening, into the overnight, and then Wednesday is going to be pretty much a cloudy, kind of rainy day at this point, but very mild. By Wednesday, we're up to about 14 degrees. This morning, we'll be up at 6. Grab the sunglasses, and it'll be a nice day for the kids at school.
Well, if you're heading south, here is what you are leaving behind this afternoon. Nice and mild in through southern Ontario. The sunshine also present in through Quebec and the Maritime provinces. A little bit cooler there, though. Note we do have some rain and mixing for the Avalon, snow elsewhere. Some significant snowfall amounts for parts of Newfoundland. But let's take a fly down to Florida, shall we? Temperature-wise, as we get into your Tuesday, it is going to be nice and mild, and expect some sunshine, too.
Definitely. Yeah, you need those gloves to start the day off, but later on, when I go back home, because I live in the Hamilton region, I'm going to be in a long sleeve shirt and probably some pants, and that's it because it's going to be mild. We'll be up around 11 degrees today. By the way, in 31 seconds, you can get more details on your local forecast that begins for you. So Sunday was just like it's going to be on Wednesday, about 14 or 15 degrees. So today, 11. Tomorrow around 8, which is closer to seasonal, and then Wednesday will be like yesterday, except it'll be cloudier and maybe a little on the stormy side, but very mild. So take the good with the bad. 6 degrees, partly cloudy this morning. Winds are northeasterly. Some of our top stories, it's going to still continue to feel like September, at least for a couple more days anyway. And a big storm system brewing stateside. We'll talk about the impact coming up. I find that one really fascinating, that time lapse. You can get all those time lapse videos on our website, among many other of our features like top 5 videos, science behind the weathers, and the list goes on. I'm Jaclyn Whittal. It's great to have you along. I hope you had a great weekend. I know I did, mainly because the weather was fantastic for the Santa Claus Parade yesterday in Toronto. And then on Saturday, of course, the Niagara Santa Claus Parade, where our own Chrissy Van was hosting. Lots of exciting things going on. Santa must have been like, hey, wait a minute, I need a spring jacket. This whole fur thing is a little much with these temperatures. Well, it's going to continue to feel like September. An easterly wind, though, will keep us a little bit cooler tomorrow, around 8. Today we'll be up to about 11 degrees. And let's take you to the Santa Claus Parade, actually, and we'll show you some of the highlights. Of course, it kind of looks like a spring event. I got to say, it doesn't even, I don't know, it's hard to get the spirit sometimes when it's this warm. But don't worry. we're going to have cold weather before Christmas. In fact, it's going to begin this coming weekend. That's when our turn for the cooler weather starts to set up. So -2 currently in Calgary. It's +2 in Toronto. So it's pretty chilly this morning, and that's because we had all that clearing. So not a lot of cloud cover to keep in a lot of the heat. We'll talk about the rain. It does move in tomorrow evening. Great to have you along. It is a Monday, and I hope you had a great weekend. Isn't it nice? Weather is so warm for this time of year. We should be around 7 degrees. And meanwhile, we're up around 15 yesterday, overshooting our actual forecast, which I don't think anyone's complaining. Hey, wait a minute. You were wrong. You were only calling for 13, but we went up to 15. Well, accuracy is important, of course, but it's a bonus, right? I think this time of year. 15 in Toronto, Newmarket. You saw the same temperature. This morning will be at around 6 degrees, partly clouding with a wind out of the northeast. But tomorrow our winds will shift easterly and over the lake water. That'll keep us a little bit cooler. Our lake waters are somewhere around 6-7 degrees right now, and our temperature is only going to be at about 7 or 8 tomorrow. Thanks, Christy. And on November 30th, we're going to release our winter forecast. You can find out how the holiday season is going to be shaping up for you. By the way, in about 22 seconds, we'll have a detailed local forecast coming at you, so stay tuned. There we go. We have the satellite radar pretty quiet right now, but I want to show you all of the moisture and the activity that we're watching upstream, kind of downstream, down towards the southwest. There's this moisture, but it's the bigger storm system bringing some snow into Colorado. That's our next big storm system. The rain begins for us tomorrow evening. Well, good morning. It is a Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm Jaclyn Whittal, and I'll tell you, we are being spoiled with a lot of sunshine over the weekend and warm temperatures. Santa was in town at the Santa Claus Parade in Toronto, and yesterday he must have thought, geez, where is all the winter weather? It's hard to land the sleigh when you're dealing with warm temperatures like this. Perhaps he may have had to put on some red track pants instead of his regular suit yesterday. Feeling like September, eventually this is going to change around for us, but we'll take it while we have it. An easterly wind will cool us off a little bit tomorrow, down to closer to seasonal. But today we'll be at 11, tomorrow around 7 or 8, and then Wednesday, although we're tracking a system with some rain, we're still going to be up around 14 degrees, so really, really warm. Okay, so 6, feeling like 5 this morning, northeasterly wind. Here's our next system. There's the future radar. So I'm going to just show you as it gets a little bit closer to Tuesday. That's when this future radar. But today, it's calm. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on. We have a deep upper level low that's moving through severe weather along the cold front down through the southern states. A very strong area of high pressure that's really allowing this to really deepen and strengthen. For us, it's going to be rain. It's not going to be quite as windy as the last 2 lows that we've seen. But the difference is by the weekend, there's a chance of snow squalls on the backside of this one. Okay, your local forecast. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, he's kind of bundled up this morning, but it's going to be another warm day. So when you're sending the kids to school today, just make sure they have a light jacket that they may shed at recess. By the way, not just 1 or 2 waterfalls in Hamilton, hundreds of waterfalls in Hamilton. In fact, they're thinking of changing the name to the City of Waterfalls. True story. 15 degrees yesterday in Newmarket, 13 at Whitby. It was absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice weather. 5 degrees this morning, feeling like about 3. We'll have a northeast wind, but then our winds will shift around easterly, and then that'll keep us a little bit cooler for tomorrow. So still looking like September temperatures today, and then by the midweek we'll be looking at some cloudy conditions with some rain. There's the developing area of low pressure, a couple pieces of energy moving in from the states. It'll begin Tuesday evening for us. We'll see some rain showers move in, and then we'll see cloud by Wednesday. Yeah, there's lots of runners out there, dog walkers. It's a great spot to be for sure, Bayfront Park. I'm glad you brought up those winds, because those winds are bringing in a nice dry, warm type of air mass, but our winds will shift easterly, and that's going to keep us slightly cooler tomorrow. So 11 today, about 7 or 8 tomorrow, and then winds shift again out of the southwest, and we are going to be warming up big time to about 14 with cloud on Wednesday. So our top story, well, it's feeling like September, bonus, and active weather by midweek. So this is a big system stateside that's going to be bringing snow as far south to New Mexico. And then as it gets closer to us, we're looking at rain. Not quite as strong winds as what we saw with the last 2 fall storms, but snow squalls potentially Friday into Saturday. So right now we're seeing at about 4-2 in Ottawa. So your local forecast, that begins right now as well. Thanks, Kevin Yard. Well, it is warm. I know it's starting off a little bit chilly, but today we're going to be up around 11 degrees, way above our seasonal norm of about 7. And then we'll get an easterly wind tomorrow that'll keep us a little bit cooler, down to about 7, so just about our norm. And then by midweek, we'll be talking about cloud cover, but even warmer temperatures again. So when does it all end? Well, we're going to have our winter forecast, actually, that's going to be coming up on November 30th, which is exciting. So we'll let you know how the rest of 2015 will look, and then right into our 2016 season. Okay, so high pressure dominating today. So lots of sunshine, but we're watching upstream to see this system that is going to move in by Tuesday night. We'll see that cloud, you see that boundary right there, move into Windsor, and then the rain should be into the overnight. A couple things going on here. There's the warm front here. There's the potent cold front that will see all the thunderstorm activity stateside, and that'll be from Chicago all the way down into Texas over the next couple days. We could see some thunderstorms too. I imagine they'll just be weak in nature, maybe a little bit of lightning though, and that would probably be by Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, I would suspect. So pretty quiet. You can see on the satellite radar here at home. But watch as this really wrapped up system moves through the Great Lakes, merges with this Alberta Clipper, and becomes a massive low. That blue on the other side, that certainly is snow. Look at the lake effect banding that it's picking up by Friday into Saturday, and that's when our temperatures take a bit of a dive as well. Okay, your local forecast, even more detailed right now.
Well, if you're heading south, here is what you are leaving behind this afternoon. Nice and mild in through southern Ontario. The sunshine also present in through Quebec and the Maritime provinces. A little bit cooler there, though. Note we do have some rain and mixing for the Avalon, snow elsewhere. Some significant snowfall amounts for parts of Newfoundland. But let's take a fly down to Florida, shall we? Temperature-wise, as we get into your Tuesday, it is going to be nice and mild, and expect some sunshine, too.
All right, Doug, I think the question everybody wants answered is how long is this warm weather really going to last?
It's been quite a month, and those mild temperatures will continue through Thursday, and then we transition into a colder pattern that really should take over for the final 10 days of November, in between another Colorado low as we go through that transition.
Seems like the weekly thing. Okay, Wednesday, breezy but mild.
It will be. Now, we will have a brisk wind off Lake Ontario. That'll take away from those mild temperatures just a bit, and those warmer temperatures will arrive as we go into the evening. Our next system brings some rain for Wednesday night, but it should hold off until the overnight. You can hear those mild temperatures, and these temperatures will hold up right through the night.
Wow, that's pretty rare this time of year to be at that hour, that warm at that hour. Now Thursday, okay, so we have two shots. We have rain and then the colder air back here.
Right, so the rain should be winding down for the morning commute, and then we get into the dry slot. We'll have gusty winds, a few hours where the temperatures can stay up in the mid-teens, and then some falling temperatures late in the day as that true cold front comes through.
You always know it's falling temperatures when you start to see some snow squalls coming off the lakes through Cottage Country Friday maybe.
Well north of the GTA. We won't see that down here, but it will be blustery and colder. A bit of a shock to the system, but temperatures really aren't that far from where they should be. It's in the mid-single digits.
I guess Mount Forest at 2 might be a bit of a shock, a little bit cold, but you're right. Okay, so Saturday, let's talk about a potential system.
Most of the models bring a system through. The more reliable models don't, so we'll be keeping an eye on that potential. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, but temperatures this weekend, certainly colder than what we saw on Sunday, in the mid-single digits Saturday, and even a little bit cooler, especially to our north on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
And that sets the stage for the pattern for next week. Not every day, but overall temperatures near to below seasonal, but we should back off a bit as we head into early December.
Yikes. Okay, thanks, Dr. Doug. Well, we know climatologically and meteorologically when it starts, but what about our forecast? What are we looking at? Well, on November 30th, we'll have our winter 2015 and 16 season all laid out for you. And I'll tell you one thing, by this Friday, it's going to feel a little closer to winter. It's certainly not like what we've been seeing as of late. We're back up to 11 degrees, partly cloudy conditions today. Let's check in with Kevin Yard, who's in Hamilton. Kevin, it starts off a little bit chilly, but boy, it's another warm one today. Sounds great, and you're in Hamilton. I live in Ancaster, so go let my dog out, take her for a walk. It's just one of those days. Golfing, perfect. Okay, so our future radar shows a boundary. This is a warm front moving in from the States. Do you notice that getting a little bit closer by later this afternoon? But our range should hold off until tomorrow afternoon into the evening. That's what the model is suggesting at this point. Here's the deal. We have a big upper level low, and you can see it's going to be really wrapping up severe weather, potential for tornadoes stateside and an unusually strong ridge in the east. And that's why we're getting so much sunshine and warm temperatures over the last 2 days. We've got this nice ridge of high pressure. That's all going to change as this system really wraps up. Look at that near Hudson Bay. Behind it, wrapping in some cold air, and we could be seeing, you know it, snow by the weekend. And that could be just lake effect banding in the typical areas, but we'll keep a close eye on it. Here's your local forecast, even more details.